Welcome back to another Rhubarb Yoga. Thank you for returning. So today we're going to finish our 5-part Warrior Virabhadrasana sequence. We are looking at Warrior 3, the final part. So following on from the legends that I've been talking about, Warrior 3 is where Virabhadra, the god that was called upon by Shiva to take revenge on Daksha, he has the enemies of Daksha in his sights. He is ready to take action. And so with this part, our Warrior 3 is our sword. It is Virabhadra's sword released, going towards the enemies without hesitation, determination, confidence, and with conviction. So without being too dramatic, that's not what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be finishing that sequence, and then finally next week we're going to be creating a flow that we can show all of those warriors moving together as one. With today, Warrior 3 will be a pose that will need some confidence and faith in yourself to move into it. Take your conviction and be confident. So let's go. You will definitely need blocks. If you haven't got blocks anywhere, get a chair. The back of a chair or the seat of a chair will do absolutely perfectly instead of your blocks. And failing that, you can move towards the wall. So let's start with blocks. So we're going to start standing in Tadasana. Let's place our blocks near the front of our mat. And the only thing you need to make sure with the blocks is they are arm width apart. And I'll show you why. So looking at our Tadasana, our feet hip width apart. The most important thing is that our legs are strong. We're going to need the strength of one leg when we move into our Warrior 3. So we need to make sure that that is secure. And let's go. So what we need to do is we need to hinge forward. So you may find that you need to move your blocks, step forward. Let's not make it difficult. Let's make it easy on ourselves to begin with. So let's bend forward. So the blocks should be under the shoulders, but we don't want to be leaning forward. That's going to affect our balance. We don't want to be arcing back either. We need to make sure that when we place our hands on our blocks, we've got a right angle. Because we're folding forward initially, we need to make sure that our balance isn't thrown, to ensure that our posture is the best it can be in our foundation. So once we've got to this position here, we're just going to activate the legs a little just to get into the motion of opening the hamstrings and being strong in that position. So we're going to do a couple of leg lifts, nice and simple. And if you feel that you are too low to the blocks, you need to raise them a little bit. Come onto fingertips to begin with, just to give you a little bit of more arm length, just until you find your feet. But make sure the feet are grounded. And we're going to do some simple leg lifts. So coming to the toes of the right leg, ground the left leg in. Make sure that we can activate through the foot, up the calf. The knee is lifted and the thigh is switched on. We're going to do some simple leg lifts, and this will help get us into that position. We're not going to lift the leg high. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for this motion, so that as we lift, our back feels like it's in line. You can always do it alongside a television, so you can check your positioning. Even a mirror if you've got one, that's no problem. But we want the toe pointed down. So if you look behind yourself, you can see the line of your leg. Toe pointed down, foot flexed. It can be pointed if that's more comfortable, but if you have the toe pointed down, you can imagine that you've got a wall behind you and you're pushing against it. And that will help activate the hips and create strength in the leg, which we're going to be looking for to help this leg create the shape. So do a couple of those leg lifts and always drop the head just to make sure we're not lifting too high, and this will help activate the hamstrings to get us ready. So we're going to swap legs, do that a couple of sides too. Try not to push too heavy into the blocks at the front. So we're making sure that we're not overstretching, we're not over leaning, we're keeping that 90-degree angle, which is important. If you need to readjust, please readjust. Coming to the tiptoes and then looking back, making sure our leg lifts are in line, our right leg is strong, our knee is activated, and our thigh is switched on too. So by doing this, we're relying on the strength of the standing leg. We're also activating the arms so that they know that they're going to be used as a tripod as we come into the position until we feel comfortable too. And it's not a competition to see how fast we can move our hands away from the blocks and stand independently. So let's get the leg position right first for Warrior 3. So we're going to lift straight behind us, we're going to look back, toes pointing down, and we're going to push the heel away as if we can feel a wall behind us. And once we've got that feeling, elongate along the neck, bring them away from the shoulders, head face down, look down towards the floor, find a drishti, find somewhere that you can look, find of interest that takes your mind off how balanced you are, how precarious you feel. Bring the leg that's standing back into action to remind you that it's strong. And now I want you to imagine the lemon squeezer is working again. Bring the lift leg towards you and engage the pelvis. Switch on that hip here. Switch it on, bring it into play, and that's why the flex foot at the back will help. Bring it together, knit it, nice and tight. And now have faith in yourself. You are in your Warrior 3. Come to the tiptoes. Once you feel secure, come to the fingertips. Nice and balanced. Take a breath. Arm up, one at a time. And if you feel that you're wobbling, put that hand back down and please don't worry. Bring that arm back up. We'll swap arms. Find a drishti. Oops, there we go. Swap legs. You are definitely going to feel hip fatigue. Don't worry, we're all human. We're all going to feel hip fatigue. Nobody's meant to keep their leg out that far for that long without feeling something. And if you do feel something, it's reminding you you're working. So let's swap legs. Let's try the other leg. So coming forward, bend forward. Please bend the knees. Not everyone can bend forward at 90 degrees without their knees bent. Little bounce, making sure we've got our 90-degree angle again. We've done our leg lifts, we don't need to worry about that now. Take a breath. Now lift the leg. Looking back, checking that the leg is parallel, toes are pointed to the floor, bottom leg is activated. Bring the hips together. Apply the lemon squeezer. Fingertips if you can. If you can't, it does not matter. Take your time. One arm up. If you want to practice, swapping arms. This is when you use your breath. So you can apply balance, practice, and strength. And please do not panic if this feels a long way off. So, that's how Warrior 3 can look. If you don't have blocks, a chair, you can hold your arms out in front, on the back of the chair. You can lean on the seat of the chair. If you find that your blocks are too low down, it's not a problem. And if you don't feel that this is quite for you yet, don't panic. It isn't. If you don't have a chair available or a block, or you think you want to try it another way, you can use the wall. You can place your arms in front, palms against the wall, and use the wall to encourage that natural straight back. Arms in front for traditional Virabhadrasana 3. Or you can turn round, put the blocks underneath the arms, and bring the leg out behind you with the sole of the foot against the wall, and push against it to create that elongation from the sole of the foot to the tips of the fingers, and see if you can activate in the opposite direction to encourage the stretch throughout the body, creating the sword, Virabhadra, that is being released towards the enemies. So see how you can be convicted to your pose. Can you move into it without hesitation? Try some determination and see how much you move forward. Please take your time. Thank you once again. Please enjoy today. Have a good day.